Round 2, fight! All right, I'm gonna this time do the fighter, and I'm gonna try and see if I can beat my time here. So I'm gonna move this to AA complete so nobody's confused and tries to do it. Whoops, which fighter was it? Not that one. It was this one. Good. All right, download. This time I actually have everything all prepped. So final game meshes, fleet ships, fighter. I'm putting it in there. This is a single material ship, so I'm not going to need to use Pro Draw Call Optimizer in the same way, at least. Okay, so there's some old junk in here for the old fighter that I need to get rid of first. It's occupying the same folder that I'm already in. That's going to be a rarity. And so I'm going to delete that before I unpack the zip file. Fighter. Arc and bundle models fighter. Yep, die. Final game meshes fleet ships fighter. That's mine. AI fighter simplified mesh. All of you die. Hey. Mesh AI fighter. It's under LODs, mesh maker. Okay, so that's what's going on. We've got the mesh human fighter there as well. So fighter. Hurricane models, blue early work. Fighter is from way back. Materials, human fighter UV test, blah, blah, blah. Goodbye. Simplified, human fighter colored, goodbye. Textures, human fighter stuff. All of those are in there, need to go, so get rid of all of them. I'm pretty sure I can just delete this whole folder, actually. Fighter. We got fighter H, which is the prefab being used. That goes away. Fighter. Normally this is not going to happen like this. All right, we got some various far zoom icons here, which are very old. Yep, so I can get rid of all those. Arcane models, far zoom. Goodbye. Fighter. All right, come on now. This shouldn't count against my time. I'm having to kill a ton of stuff. Light bar fighter, light bar fighter front. Fighter. Oh, good lord. Arc and ship bits. Yeah, those are old. Goodbye. Fighter. We got the human fighter over here. Fighter. SM fighter. What the heck? Oh, okay. This is from ship parts. Okay. That whole thing can go. That's from quite some time ago. It's going to take its sweet time on that, though. Oh, my goodness. Pausing the video. Unpause. Okay. So this thing is unhappy because it was using some materials from who knows where, some old junk. We're not going to be keeping this anyway, so I'm just going to set this to something. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Fine. Two-sided. Interesting. And two-sided. Nifty. Whatever. It's not going to stay, so Oh, instancing needs to be turned on that, yeah. Okay. Save, apply, hooray. All right. Did I already delete the fighter? Did not. Fighter is the archetypical scale 1 unit, but as we've done with the bomber, we're going to scale it up to 3 times that. So now I can switch over here to not that. Fleet ships, fighter, unpack the zip file. All this stuff comes out right here. Get rid of the meta for the zip file and the zip file itself. Boy, I really cheated myself out of like 4 minutes there. Oh well. All right, drag those in the materials folder. I don't really care how big this thing is. All right. Whoa, what am I doing? Arcan, combined emissive. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, hit fix. Boom. Bring that up, bring that up. Fighter. Yeah, I'm just going to drag this into the side here. It does not have any submeshes or anything, so this really could not be any easier. I'm going to go ahead and scale this up to size 100, just so I can see the darn thing. That's over here. All right. It's sideways. Grr. That's annoying. In order to fix that, I'm going to have to create a... All right. We're going to fix this the easy way. Game object, make that the parent fighter. Oh, I can't do that because of the way that I've adjusted this thing. If I rotate this, will it actually stick? I mean, 270, will it actually stick? I'm not sure. Now I've really, let's try quick edit. I think I can do it with this. No, I cannot. I might be able to do it with Meshmaker Mesh tools. Can do flips. Can I rotate though? Does not look like it. All right, we'll find out if this works or not. If not, then I've created a real pain for myself. All right, this is substantially larger than I want it to be. Eyeballing it. Sure, that seems good. It's going to overlap like crazy in the actual game. That is until until the grid formations are updated for it. This thing is too dark. That is a recurring theme. I think that stuff from Blue is coming through with a lot more metalness applied than is intended. So going down the metalness to something like 0.6 seems to do it. And upping the occlusion to something like 1.5 also seems to help. It seems to fix the difference between here and here and what she's seeing in Mesh, in Substance Painter. So, all right. Ooh, that's pretty. Gosh. Sometimes the normals can be too strong, sometimes too weak. In this case, I feel like they're a little on the strong side. Just for what this is, not that strong. 0.6. Go to that. 0.83. All right. Nifty. I'm going to drag this here to make my prefab. Go ahead and put this in the AI War 2 goodie box. May as well hit save all assets now. May as well also go ahead and enable instancing. 11 minutes. What a waste. I wanted to check and see. All right, this has so few vertices, I don't need to create any LODs whatsoever. LODs would not be helpful here. If it's below 800 vertices, frankly, really, if it's below 1,000, there's just no point. It might do more harm than good, to be honest. So this is going to be really unusual. This is where I'm going to pick up some time going back. Auto-fix the things that are wrong with it. Hooray. Meshes per LOD. 1. LOD distances. 1. Oopsies. The mesh for it is going to be this. And then the one distance, this is the distance after which it will disappear. This is a very small ship. I'm going to say, I think 6,000. What did I say for the bomber? 2,000. Interesting. Well, I guess let's give that a try. Save apply. Final game meshes, fleet ships, fighter.prefab. Asset bundle needs to be AI War 2. Nope, that's the wrong thing. That's the FBX. This needs to be an AI War 2 bundle, but it'll automatically drag in the other one anyway, so you may as well leave it. I mean, you can explicitly say, but you don't have to. All right, build Windows Asset Bundle. Now, I know this thing is called like Fighter, although apparently it's called Fighter Mark 1. So there we go. Final mesh, what? Final game models, final game meshes, right? Fleet ships, fighter.prefab. Mind like a sieve. I have test spawn for player. Test spawn for player. It's true. It is still compiling itself. This thing is going to be using the granularity. Where is that? Normal granularity. So these things are going to overlap like crazy, probably. In their formation. I'm not going to include making a new formation as part of this video. But oopsies. Oh, fighter_h.prefab. Something else is using that. Fighter_h. Two other things are using that. So we've got ourselves a fighter drone. Okay, that makes sense. And we've got ourselves mutation Mark 1 nanocost ship. Okay, makes sense too. Try that again. Now it's going to automatically, when I start a new game, spawn marks 1 through 5 for me, little squads. Visually, they're all going to be identical. Hey, look at that. They overlap, but not too badly. And I can actually see them, so that's something. I want to make it sure that they point the right way when I go forward, and they don't. They are oriented to the side. That bites. I'm going to pause this video and fix that. Okay, in looking at the code and thinking about it, I actually can't do that because it's going to be a sub-object. So here's how I'm going to cheat. What I'm going to do is I am going to I'm going to save this thing. I'm going to use ootii Mesh Merge under Other, and I'm going to hit Splice and Merge, just making a copy of this thing now. This now has a rotation of 0, and it's pointed the way that I want. I'm going to hit Save as Asset. I'm going to, yes, optimize the mesh. Save as Asset. I'm going to put this under Arc and Models. No, Final Game Meshes. Fleet Ships, Fighter, and this would be, oh gosh, Fighter LOD 0, which is really the only Fighter LOD. I'm going to delete the original because I don't need it. I'm going to go ahead and delete the merged mesh there too. It disabled this original renderer and it's missing a mesh right now. So I'm just going to drag in this mesh, and it's, yeah, oh, it is sideways, which is what we want. But you'll notice that it's also shrunk down for some reason. That's because it baked in the scale too. So we take the scale back up to 1. Uh-oh, now our box collider's off. So we're going to hit remove, and then we can hit auto fix, and boom, box collider's back. Safely apply prefab. Arc and save all assets, build Windows asset bundle. Everything will be working in the game. I was going to additively mess with the rotation, but I realized that was going to be computationally wasteful by a lot. It's 2 quaternions that you're trying to add through. It's not like using Euclidean, or however you say it. I don't know how to say the word, but or Euler angles anyway. So it's gonna compress this, put this in. I should then see all my ships pointing forward as I expect and in the correct scale. The ootii Mesh Merge and Splice is a really good tool. Not one that I showed off in any other videos, but if you ever get any ships that are rotated incorrectly, then you know how to fix it now. By how do you know if they're rotated incorrectly? Well, they're not facing the same direction as all the other ships. And that will tell you right there. So the get it all sized and otherwise correct, and then do the ootii Mesh Merge at the very end like I did. Right, those probably are actually facing that way. Yep, they are. Cool. So these things stick out of where they're supposed to be, but that is because they're using an old formation that is expecting them to be smaller, but we're scaling them up as noted in the formations thing. We can see them well. So general note then is going to be that we need to make anything that's coming over from blue be a little brighter. So I'm going to look at this iBot here that Craig has checked in. And what I'm going to guess is that, oh, look, you've already taken down the metalness a little bit. Yeah, and you go down any further and it starts looking bad. So it's not even across the board. The iBot's already good to go. So at this point, went too far. Man, I'm at 20 minutes again, but I had to solve a weird problem, so there is that. All right, fighter material. So check everything. Human fighter diffuse.mat. Yeah, this is all my stuff under final game meshes. Yeah, the two-sided material, that was something else that I changed on purpose, which you saw. The ibot.prefab, I did not change. Science 1, I did need to change. All that stuff gone. All that stuff gone. Yeah. This is going to go on for a while. Alrighty. These things I did mean to change. I did mean to change scale examples in this particular case. Normally I would not. Final game meshes, fighter stuff there. Yep. The fighter has its new graphics as well as a larger scale. The scale doesn't work quite that well with the formation size currently in use, but the formation will be corrected later. All right, hit commit, 4,471 files to go with that. Editing here again, in, bam, fighter, under fleet ships, it's alphabetized, so I could have just scrolled, but bam. All that stuff's in, and it's going to take it a while to commit. It's being incredibly, I have a 100 gigabit up and down fiber connection, and it's going that slow. So, what you going to do? Alrighty, thanks for watching.